Yeah, good evening, everyone. You're welcome to the topic for today, an introduction to incident response. In the last class, we looked at different tools that can be used as a security analyst, different tools that can be used in the security center. And we touched on Wireshark. We installed Wireshark and we went through some exercises. And I think we'll have, when we meet on Saturday as well, we'll be able to look at some additional hands-on exercises and workshop uh, uh, that we'll be able to um, use applying the Wireshark tool. So please make sure you're in on Saturday. And tonight we'll talk on incident response and handling and the learning objectives. We'll be looking at the what incident response is. Um, and of course, we have security notifications. What are they for? Why do we need them? We have incident classification, the incident response life cycle, and we'll talk about the MITRE framework, and then we look at the incident response exercise that we have. Um, all right, okay, yeah, sure. Let's get to it. So, what is an incident response? So, it's a methodology an organization uses to respond to and manage a cyber attack. It's a simple description. Now, simply put, the way an organization approaches a cyber attack, their approach to a cyber attack, whether um, they they're trying to address the incident that has caused the cyber attack, or manage the incident, or contain it, whatever falls within the manage remit of a cyber attack, their approach to it. And it's something that is meant to be systemic and be and must be planned. Okay, it's not, it shouldn't be haphazard. Like, there must be a structure and approach to it, uh, based on the type of attack, based on the category, based on the severity, based on the time that it happened, and based on the way the attack happened, and a lot of other factors that will be considered. So, what is the goal? So, the goal is to handle the situation in a way that limits damage. It reduces recovery time and costs and mitigates any breach-related risk. So, any sort of attack that happens and without a proper incident response plan in place, you can be sure that um, it will not end up well. It can be chaotic, and there will be a loss of more resources, loss of money, and damages. But if it is a structured and methodical, and the awareness is there for the security analyst, the awareness is there for the incident responder, The awareness is there for the security engineer. Everybody they know what they need to be doing. When an incident happens, then it will become easy for everyone, everyone's job becomes easier. An example, an example of an incident response is being able to identify and isolate a breach server. Okay. Now, if an incident happens and this particular example that I've stated here is not actioned on time, because the response also is time-based. So it's not action on time. You can be sure that a lot of things can get damaged and lost. So that's what we're looking at here. So another example is being able to eradicate malware from an infected system, or reversing changes made by an unauthorized access. So all of these are also time-bound uh, actions. So the way an organization approaches a cyber attack is really important. So you could be with an organization which is just trying to set up their security team. Okay, so all this kind of information is really good for us to know, and be able to work with such organization and consult for them and guide them to setting up their security team. A lot of other things and other factors will be considered anyway, but it's important that we have the understanding of this. So what are the benefits? So there's any incident response that minimizes the impact of attacks, you know, it benefits the organization. So this is not just a reactive one. An effective one is usually one that is proactively planned, so that when it happens, the actions are actually effective. The actions taken are effective. So it also protects organizational assets and maintains customer trust. So customers are able to trust you. They're able to trust the organization. They want to do business with you. They know that their data is safe with you, and then you are also able to um, be in compliance with regulations, governing the organization or the industry that you are. Now, there is no way we'll also talk about incident response without looking at this at security notifications. Because for you to be able to address any sort of incidents or any sort of attack leading to an incident or a breach, um, you must have access to, there must be a log. You're monitoring a log. Then there's also some parameters that you're looking at that you can use that you can analyze, or there are some factors that you would consider, um, such as maybe an alert that you get, anything that will sort of keep you notified. So all of these are still within the remit of incidents response. So notifications, I'm sure we all get notifications on our phone, and sometimes we choose to switch it on or switch it off. And I don't know if you have missed any important message or an action because you missed a notification. For example, you don't have enough money in your bank account and you didn't get the notification. You know, the bank will usually remind you to say you don't have enough money. You need to put some money by 2 p.m., by 3 p.m., you understand, on the day, so that, you know, your account would not run into negative. All right. So this, as important that is as well, you can imagine that you lost you couldn't go do a transaction because you didn't have enough money in your account. And you know what that means, especially if it's like for a bill or a payment you should have made, which is really important to you. So we can see why security notifications are important. So the notification could be a message or alert that is generated by a system, software, or security appliance to inform users or administrators about security related events. I'll say that again. A security notification is a message or alert generated by a system, software, or security appliance to inform users or administrators about security related event. And what are they for? The notifications could be for an event, and an event could be an employee accessing a system. Okay, it's any observable occurrence in a system or network. That's an event. You can get a notification, an alarm, a notification that something unusual or suspicious was observed. All right. Now, you could get a notification for an incident, and that is a confirmed security event that threatens the confidentiality, integrity, or availability of information. And you could get notification for a breach, a confirmed incident where sensitive, protected, or confidential data has been accessed or disclosed without authorization. So notifications can be set up on the system. They can be automated, all right? They can be triggered based on specific rules or that has been configured into the system. We'll see an example later. So an event could be an employee accessing the system. An alarm might be triggered by multiple failed login attempts, okay? So that is saying, oh, something is going on, and you need to have a look at it, or you need to check. And then it could be um, an incident that occurred because somebody who is not expected to access a particular data is gaining access to it, or a breach when the data is exfiltrated. So now there are different types of notifications, and we're also going to look at the importance here. So um, for the types of security notifications, it could be an alert. So an alert is triggered based on some specific activity, which um which 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 has been configured into the system so that you are aware. And we all know literally anything that says stay alert means, you know, get ready. You know, anything can happen. Okay, so be watchful. That is what it means. So you could get that kind of alert. And like the way you get alerts when someone credits your account, or somebody moves money, or somebody withdraws, or you money is being debited from your account, you understand? So it could also be a warning. So that's another type of notification. A warning is saying, um, an example of a warning could be, you could be that your system updates are due. your system updates are due, or that also, sorry, let me say, a software is outdated. Let's say that is simple enough, that's straightforward. A particular software is outdated, you know. So sometimes we get that, and it's saying what that means is, if this is outdated, it's possible that you might not be able to use it in the next couple of days. So that is a warning. Some are informational notifications, just sharing with you. Maybe an update of something has been released, so you are aware. You know, that is an example of it's a sort of an example of an informational notification. Now, when we look at the importance of security notification, I said earlier, as soon as we started, that it is also time is of great importance. Time is of great, the timeliness of that notification is important. You know, we can all get upset if you're not expecting something to happen, and probably the time you're getting the information about that incident happening, you're just wondering, wow, this is too late. I mean, this information should have been shared before this time. It's just as simple as that. Then the awareness is also an important part of security notification. Then the guidance that you get, because um when you are notified, you know, there's just a justification that, okay, yes, I know what to do, I know what steps to take. However, if that if the concept of notification is not there, sometimes you just feel lost. You don't even know which direction. So relating this to everyday life, the same way, it is important that um we are aware that as security analysts, as a SOC analyst especially, it is we paying attention to notifications, whether there are notifications that we need to put in place, or notifications to help us do our work better, or notifications that we need to that the system needs to be configured to do. It could be something that you've seen that you think is better to talk about this and share this at work, because it will make everyone do their work better if they get such notification. You understand? So it's really important, and it's also important as well for compliance purposes. Now, of course, as much as security notifications are important, it has its own challenges. And I really did say, okay, let's put the challenges against the best practices. So sometimes I don't know how many of us have turned off notifications on our phones because we felt that this is just too much. Why do I need to get notification all the time? So the challenge is that you can be overloaded. So notification overload, and it can lead to alert fatigue. If you that you're receiving the notification, it gets to a point you just know that another notification has come in, and you are not really paying attention to it anymore. And because it's just too much, it's also important to ensure that the notifications that we are getting, even if you get to your workplace today and you feel that there are specific notifications you should be getting as an analyst, and you are not, or you feel some are not actually relevant to the work you do, you understand, you need to be able to find a balance and identify, so you are not overloaded and you get desensitized, and you end up missing um potential uh critical warnings. And of course, there might be false positives. So frequent false alarms can cause frustration. We know these things can happen, and maybe you've had a couple of false positives, and you just start to, ignore them. But as in this role, honestly, you need to stay on top of it. You need to stay on top of it. Otherwise, might miss out on important alerts, and you don't want that to happen, because your role is also a key. Your role is key to the security team's um, success in ensuring that the organization's assets are protected. So everybody's role is important. Then under reporting, yeah. So a system that is too conservative in its alerts. When security notifications are also not they are not robust enough as well, it's possible that it can fail to notify significant events. So what does that do? Consequently, it leads to undetected breaches or unmitigated vulnerabilities. So these are the challenges. It seemed like, oh, these challenges are there, but guess what? They are really, really, it's really, really important for us to be able to stay on top of it, so that we are not overloaded, or we are not overloaded, and we are not getting desensitized from getting the right notification or on the job. Now, best practices. Now, when a notification is sent, it must be clear, it must be relevant, it must be prioritized accordingly, and it must be actionable. So it must give this these 4 things, so that you know exactly what you need to do, because the notification could be sent to, and this is where the awareness is key, even for users, not just security operations center analysts. It is key for users of applications as well, because they could get notifications in their email. Sometimes the notifications could be for updates that are really important, and you know that people can ignore it. So it's really important that when we are, as security analysts, when we are putting the content for notifications together, and it looks like, oh, this is not a part of the technical side of things, but it's very, very important. When we are putting the contents together in our team, we are also contributing to it. Why? Based on the knowledge that we have, that it must be clear, it must be relevant, it must be prioritized accordingly, and it must be actionable. Okay. So this is an example. So this is the scenario here is that a suspicious login activity has been detected. So, and it's an email, and it's been sent to a user. Okay. So look at the subject. It says login, um, suspicious login activity detected. All right. So that is clear. That it says urgent as well. So they say that this is really important. So, and it says in the body, we have hello, we have detected suspicious login attempts on your account originating from an unrecognized device and location. Please review the details below. And so the date and time are there, the location specified, the device specified, and the action to be taken is there. That's where the actionability of it. So it says verify activities. That's the step 1. Confirm if this login was initiated by you. So that verify now is an hyperlink. Okay, is a link. That user would click on that link, just to confirm and verify that it is them. So it probably takes them to um, the portal to log in, or an action to do and to take on a page. Now, if the user is going into a portal that they need to log in to verify, because that actually confirms that it is actually them. Now, they are required to immediately change their password if the activity seems suspicious. I remember one of our trainings, someone was asking a question that he received a phishing email, and it was immediately, I got an email from the security team that he needs to change his password immediately. So the system triggers um this, okay, because it's been configured. This kind of emails, or you understand, it comes from the security center anyway. So the user would need to follow the instruction in this notification. So it's not one of those notifications that you would ignore. Okay. And if the user ignores this and they don't take action immediately, something worse can happen to the users the system, and then it can go into the organization's network from there. So this is just a simple example of a notification, and it can come in different different form. So please, let's take note of this. Then okay, we've talked about the alerts, the warnings, yeah, and all of this. Then we look at incident classification. Of course, incident classification is a process of systematically identifying and assigning categories to cybersecurity incidents to understand their nature and the immediate steps required for their resolution. So this is part of what needs to be done as an incident responder. Okay. That's a topic we're looking at. So an incident happened. So what this tells us is that you also need to be knowledgeable as well. So that is where we encourage that a lot of uh, reading and getting familiar to all these concepts is important, or the type of cybersecurity incidents that can happen, and the nature and the type of uh, incident category you can place them in. All of these are important as well. You see some examples in the coming slides. So I've got this list of 10 examples. So you can see each column has got a heading. We have the type of incident, the category of incident, the severity, the impact, and threat to organization. So for example, all this, I mean, like in your day-to-day activity, over time, you would get used to when incident, in fact, when incident happens, in the workplace, it's just like, oh yes, this is a good one, because the experience is what we need, you understand, to be able to understand how to deal with it. And it comes in different ways, different on different days. The occurrence can be at specific at different times, and it can be a phishing attack, it can be a ransomware infection, it can be denial of service attack, it can be insider threat, it can be SQL injection, it can be zero-day exploit, it can be misconfiguration of cloud services, it can be a lost and stolen device. Yes, that is an incident. If you forget your laptop on the train or any work device, it must be reported. You understand? It must be reported, so if you look at that one on item 8, that one is categorized as a physical security incident because it's a physical device um that has been stolen or that is lost. And the impact can be, okay, you lose the device. If the bad guys get hold of a laptop, for example, and they are able to log in, you can imagine what can happen. Even though the severity there says low, but the moment it happens, it is something that needs to be reported ASAP to your organization. So there are different categories. Um, we have the categories in social engineering, malware, network attack, insider activity, application attack, software vulnerability, um, configuration error, physical security, network intrusion. And we have the severity can be high, medium, low, critical. Okay, so the severity also that helps you to identify in simple words, how bad is it? I mean, like how bad is it? You so it's so and the severity as well is one of the key factors that also informs the decision or the actions that will be taken on that particular incident. All right, because the impact, the impacts as well would also contribute to it, and the everything together makes it easy. Everything together analyzed makes it easy for the security analyst to make a decision to follow the incident response uh, protocol, initiate what needs to be initiated as soon as you get that. For example, like you say you're working on the Microsoft Sentinel SIEM, you come into work, you log in, and then you see like five critical um incidents highlighted on your dashboard. Okay, you see critical, you see high, you see low. Obviously you are not expected to pick up the low first, which is just a common sense thing. You understand? You see critical, you see high, yeah, in fact, it's showing you a red flag. Okay, so you know what you need to deal with. You can pick each of it and look at even if it shows critical, you would also um, look into the impact, you look into anything that can quickly cause or that can quickly escalate to can it quickly escalate or damage cause a loss or cause a damage quickly. You are informed and you know what to do immediately with that. So that is the incident classification side of things. So with all this known, of course, the incident response life cycle um, is in stages. Okay, so the life cycle typically includes preparation, detection and analysis, containment, eradication, recovery, and lessons learned. The lessons learned falls under the post-incident review. Like, yeah. So what have we learned from this? What do we need to do better? So um, the benefits of this is that a structured life cycle. I said earlier, it has to be, there must be a structure. You can't just deal with it haphazardly. A structured life cycle ensures that there's a systematic approach to handling the incidents. It also reduces the impact and duration of security breaches. So that's it, because you know what to do at every step of the way. And I must also touch on this as well. You must be a strategic uh, um, person as well. You must be calm. Because sometimes it can be a very pressured situation, but you must be calm, and you must be able to plan strategically. I mean, like, the skills that are required, you must have a strategic planning skill. You must be a problem solver, and of course the technical proficiency as well is required. And you must be able to learn from past incidents. That's why I like this side of things, the lessons learned, the post incident review. So you must be able to learn from incidents of the past to improve on future responses. So you learn here, and another incident happens. There's some preparation that goes on. The lessons here go into preparation just in case a similar incident happens or a new one, then it just go round, and that's just the uh, cycle. So the detection phase, this is where um, there's an anomaly in the system that triggers um, an alert or something. Maybe some sort of unusual traffic on the network, and the kind of action there will be to initiate an incident response protocol. Like, okay, you assemble the response team, or just taking the right action in that instance. Then, and the analysis phase. So, for example, if it's a data breach, you'll be analyzing you assess the extent of the data that has been accessed, and the breach, um the breach vector, because that is really important. You need to know um what has been impacted, and how that has happened. So you will be able to trace the origin of the breach. This is where, yeah, the analysis, what happens in the analysis phase. Then once the analysis is done, you be looking to contain um, any system, isolate any affected system to prevent further unauthorized access, and possibly the security engineer will implement a temporary control to secure the network, because this is a very critical phase, and whatever you get right here impacts what is done here. Imagine if a containment is missing here, and it's expected that uh, that would have reduced any form of damage, and it's not done. All right. So then we have the eradication phase. So now containment has been done, some temporary controls have been put in place. Now let's remove any malware or any malicious access point from the network. So then the action here would be, okay, let's patch vulnerabilities and strengthen our security measures. So that would make us, yeah, comfortable doing this, and we know that we are covered. with that action. Then we have the recovery phase. So the incident has happened and we've done all of this up to this step. Don't forget that business must go on. All right. So some sort of restoration of system happens here. Then the backup is revisited. So maybe from the last clean backups that the organization, the security team takes for the operations in the organization. So they get to restore systems from clean backups and also monitor for any signs of additional breaches. So some sort of alertness is also in here because you don't know if there's also any additional breaches that has occurred. And the lessons learned, this is where we have the post incident stage. So here is where, not only you and I, not only doing this in isolation, you personally would have gotten, okay, what have I done better here? And I think it's a very good practice for every security analyst to practice. Do what have I done well? Do I need to do better? And then as a team, this should be conducted. If you're a lead, you should be able to get your team together and conduct a thorough investigation. What team, who needs to do what? It could be the red team needs to simulate the attack and get some investigation, get some reports from such investigation to understand the nature and the impact. And of course, the stakeholders will be informed on the incident status and resolution. Okay. Yeah, so that is it tonight. So I got this exercise for us to have a look at and kind of talk through it. And let's see if we have some understanding. And I think the site of the page to look at when you're looking at this should be the page with the list of different types of incidents, the categories, the impact, you know. So any questions before we do this? Anyone with any question? 2 minutes for questions, or we just go ahead and do this. Thank you very much. Okay, it seems we don't have any hands up. So please, we can hold on a second. Let me stop recording. Let me put this.